This is Eric from Pack Hacker. In this video, we're going to check out the Bellroy Lite packing cubes, which I've been testing for the past 2 weeks. Let's dive in. So as you can see here, we have a few different sizes and a few different colorways, but let's talk a bit about materials first. So it looks like a kind of a ripstop material, probably not the easiest to see on the white one. So I'm going to actually go with this one here. So you can see the material a little bit better there, but we have recycled nylon as the main material and then some recycled polyester on some of the accents. So I'm very happy with the material. It's, I would say, lightweight for Bellroy compared to other Bellroy gear that I've tested, but maybe not the most lightweight for packing cubes. Like I always look at the Osprey ultralight packing cubes as the kind of the gold standard when it comes to super lightweight packing cubes. These are still very light. It just doesn't feel as quite as thin or as lightweight as those ones, but still very durable, and just they work very well. So I cannot complain about the materials at all. As you can see, we have a couple different colorways to go with here. Let me make sure I get these right. Look at my notes real quick. Black, ash, and clay. So we have black, we have ash, and we have clay here. So as you can see, the logo is the same color and same size on all of them. So you're not gonna have that changed through any of the different colorways. It's pretty minimalistic, pretty much what we're used to seeing from Bellroy on their slings, their backpacks, and just different gear from them. So pretty minimalistic, and I think it looks pretty nice overall. Generally, one of the things I like most about these packing cubes is how they look. I think they look very, it's weird to say professional for packing cubes, but they just look very sleek and nice, whereas some packing cubes almost look like kind of like an advertisement, or they're super bright or colorful and stuff like that. These look very nice. It's kind of what I expect from Bellroy, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I've never seen packing cubes, I don't think, that look quite this nice. I do like the way that the Evergoods ones look, especially the new ones, but I think these ones take the cake for me as the prettiest packing cubes that I personally have tested. So you got YKK zippers on all of these, very easy to open and close. Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, you don't know that yet, but these ones do not have compression. The larger one does, which we will get into. Obviously, the compression is a little bit harder to just open and close compared to these regular zippers here, but it does well. It performs very well. We also have these tabs on the end of all of these zippers, so if you need to grab onto something to open it up, you can do that. You can also attach this inside your bag. If you have a bag that does have some modular attachment points, you could use this to attach it inside your bag. If you run out of room inside your bag, in theory, you could use a strap or something, carabiner, to attach this outside of your bag. There is mesh on a portion of each of these packing cubes, so if it's raining or something, you probably don't want to do that because the mesh is, it's like, this is not going to keep water in or out. So that's important to keep in mind, but it does allow smell to get out. So if you're worried about mildew and stuff like that, different funguses or something like that growing inside the packing cube, they are able to air out. But at the same time, it could make your whole bag smelly if you have like a bunch of smelly socks in one of these cubes. So we have a 4 liter, a 6 liter, and a 12 liter. So you kind of mix and match these by them separately. I think there also are a few different combos you can buy as well. So all very durable, and they just look very nice. I think that's the biggest thing. My biggest takeaway from the exterior of these is how nice they look. So if you're finding this helpful, make sure you throw a like on the video, drop a comment down below about what you would do with these packing cubes, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue making content like this to help you travel smarter. So as I mentioned, we have these 3 different sizes, and the design of the 2 smaller ones here is the same. So we'll start with those 2, and then we'll talk about the 12 liter one later. So the design is pretty simple. It has a zipper that comes across the top and side here, and then we have mesh on the top and the back portion here. So I'm going to open the larger one first, just so we can kind of get a look at what's going on inside here. I kind of packed this like an idiot today, so I'm just going to kind of pull all of this clothing out of here and set it off to the side so we can look at a little bit of the organization, because obviously this is going to fit clothing. You know about how much clothing is going to fit in different literage packs, or I should say packing cubes, based on what fits inside a sling, day pack, or different packing cubes. So on the inside here, we have a pocket on the back wall here, and this is on the mesh back wall. So when you open up this pocket, as you can see my hand through there. So whatever you stow inside of here has this mesh on the outside. So if like you had a sweaty water bottle next to it, whatever's here could in theory get a little bit more wet than the things that are on the other side. So this is a little bit more protected. And so when I was using these on a weekend trip, what I did is on the trip, I just took these ones because I did not need the big one. It was just for the weekend. I had all of my clean clothing on the inside of this area to start with. And then as I got dirties, I started putting the dirties into the pocket of both of these different packing cubes. And then when it got to be enough where both of them were full enough of the dirty section, I made the smaller one my dirty cube, and then the big one became my clean cube. So this was all clean, and then eventually this was all dirty, because if I were to try and do that right from the jump, there wouldn't be enough room for all of my clothing in one of the cubes. So that's how I really used these pockets. As you can see in this one over here, I have some gear stowed inside of here. I think it's nice if you have a checked bag and then you have a carry-on. You can put some things inside of here like your toothbrush, a comb or something like that, just something that you know you want to have just in case your checked luggage gets lost. You can put that inside of here, but I didn't find it super useful other than using it as a kind of a clean and dirty situation. So for me personally, that wasn't super helpful. I'm curious if you have something that you would use this for that I'm not seeing, because it just wasn't the most helpful to me. I will say it is challenging to get this gear as well. So as you can see, if I pop this open, it's like more challenging to kind of get to this pocket without, in theory, the clothes kind of tumbling out potentially. Because if you're just kind of like moving quickly, in theory, the stuff could come out. I have a very large sweatshirt packed on top right now to stop that from happening. But if you had like a bunch of small socks, underwear, and stuff like that inside of here, it could happen. But that is a nice feature, I think. It's just not one that I personally use a ton. So as I said, I'm curious if you have something that you would use it for. Drop a comment down below and let me know, because I want to use this. I want to like this, and I'm not saying I dislike it. It just wasn't super helpful for me personally. Obviously, you're going to get a bigger pocket in the larger cubes here, so the smallest pocket, medium pocket, and then we'll move over here to the big cube. So this cube has the largest pocket on the inside. It does have a pocket as well, and the mesh on these cubes is on the top and on the back. This one has mesh around the outside. So you're still getting that breathability, but it's really the whole cube that you're getting the breathability from. So, and then you have the compression here. On their side, they actually list this as an expansion. So it kind of works both ways. If you need extra space, you can expand this. And then obviously the kind of the antonym of expansion is to compress something or make it smaller. So we can open the compression here, and you can see that it kind of pops out a little bit more, and we have that mesh that goes all the way around on this as well. So this one, let me pop it open here really quickly, is a little bit more, the pocket's a little bit more useful to me, because when you flip it open, you have the pocket right here. So I think and it's obviously a little bit bigger than the other two, so it's just easier to access. Like my gear is not falling out, because it's not like if I drop the cube or something, the gear could come out, but you can fit a ton of gear inside of here, clothing, and then you also have this space here that you could stow, whether you want to stow some toiletries, some toiletry tools, maybe even some tech. Like in here, when I went to my mom's house for the weekend, I had one of my dongles in there because I wasn't bringing my tech pouch, but I needed a dongle for my computer, and that's what's still stowed inside of there. So very versatile in my opinion because of these pockets. It's just not something that I have found the best use for yet, but very happy with how these have held up and also how much gear I'm able to stow inside of these. I wish that they were a little bit cheaper for what you're getting, but they are very durable, and I think these are going to last a very long time, and we're going to continue to test them to find out. So there you have it, the Bellroy Lite packing cubes. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next one.